Hey, Trip Zero here, and I've got this fog tower that you may have seen my previous video on. If not, this will be a nice introduction. But I've finally got the fogger that I wanted for it. Now this little guy is USB powered, and we can see that from here. Just plugged into a little USB adapter, and I've got a current sensor that will activate in a minute. But so very low power, because USB ports don't necessarily supply a lot of power. So this is designed to work off a standard 500 milliamp amount of current at 5 volts. So about 2.5 watts. Now, my previous foggers were about 20 to 50 watts total. So 24 volts AC and like 1 to 2 amps of current. And the reason why they needed to be more powerful is they push a lot more water, and they're designed to be submerged to a certain level. Now this is not designed to be submerged. The bottom of this, here's the water sensor right there. The bottom of this is designed to just sit on the top of the water just like this, and water is not supposed to get in here, at least not that much water. And it just kind of wicks up the water through this spongy material, and just a little bit of water actually comes in contact with the vibrating piezo device, so it doesn't require a whole lot of power. So the benefit of that, not only is it smaller, like this is just a fraction bigger in terms of width than my other fogger, so I can fit this whole thing, and it floats. I can fit the whole thing inside a 4-inch diameter tube like this, which I could not with the other fogger, not easily anyway. But this is low power enough that it's not going to heat up the water. So the problem is, if you put a 20 watt heater inside the water, it's going to make the water warm. That's not good for the roots. So you have to do something to cool it if you have a high-powered fog machine. So my question here is, will this actually generate enough fog for a plant to grow? And that's what we're going to test here today. So let's put this thing together, and then we'll get started. So I've placed it in and I've turned it on. It's got a green indicator. That means it's on. If I take it, lift it up, the water sensor eventually dries out and no longer detects water. But you can see it actually pumps out quite a bit of fog for being such a small device. Let's check the power. It's just 240 milliamps, 0.25 amps at 5 volts. So not even 2 watts of power, and generating a fair amount of fog from that. Let's hook up the other side and see if we can get the fog to travel to the root zone tower. Got the other end hooked up. Now I have a small fan that I just stuck my finger in. Good thing it's not a high-powered fan, but I put it over the hole that the cord goes in, and it just blows a little bit of air through that hole, and already we can see fog coming up this end. So more than enough fog, I would say, for a plant, and I probably won't have to have it on all the time, which is why I have this guy, a very bright thing. So what this is it's a DHT22, which is a temperature and humidity sensor, and I've hooked it up to this Adafruit Feather, which right now is battery powered. It won't be battery powered when I get in production, but this is going to be the controller that controls the fogger and the fan. And the lights actually have meaning. So there are 8 pixels here, 8 little lights in a row, and 100% humidity, which is the red color, would be all 8. Right now it's a little less than half, so it's probably like 20-25% humidity. And the lower set of lights is the temperature, 8 pixels being about 40 degrees. So it's probably about a little less than 20 Celsius at the moment. So what happens if we just hang this right here? We can see the humidity shooting up quite quickly, actually. It's a little bright to see, but right now we're almost at 100%. So I may place the humidity sensor, not the controller, but the humidity sensor at least, inside the root zone container, and then just run the fogger until it gets to 90 or 100%. So right now it's pretty close to 100. It's probably around 90%. Let's see if it goes to 100. As we're sitting here, and the temperature, which is this lower string of lights, is still reading 3 bars or 3 pixels, so it hasn't changed. So I could probably, let's see, if I did this in a little bit more, what happens? So it looks like it wants to hang out at 90. So I could have it turn on the fogger until it reaches about 90 and then turn off and let it go back down to whatever ambient would be, maybe 20-30%, and then turn it on again. So right now it's, you can see it going down some more. So that's my current thoughts on controlling it. Now I'm gonna redesign the top of this. Originally I was gonna have the fan right here and blowing this direction and hope that it picked up the fog and would blow it in there. I don't think that will work. My first initial experiment did not show that to work. So what I'll probably do is I'll get a cap similar to what's on the bottom of this, and I'll just drill a couple 1-inch holes, one for the exhaust and one for an intake. So pretty simple. Fan blows into the chamber and pushes the fog out. So that's it, the fog tower with the USB fog generator, which here's the package, a little donut. It's just a little donut, and they're actually very cheap and very low power, so I'm hoping to avoid any sort of heat issue, and I'm hoping for some happy basil, which is what I will try and grow in this fog tower first. That's it. Trip Zero out.